How are you today and where are you dialing from?
Well, I'm feeling very good. Yeah, thank you. And I'm excited about the topic which you decide to open and highlight today.
Where are you from? You told me you must.
Yeah, I live in both countries, both Russia and Dubai. I live in Dubai, but at this moment, I'm in Moscow.
Great. It's not far away from me. I'm from Poland.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Great. So thank you for participating in our hot seat session where we help businesses and companies all over the world to address their blind spots, gain competitive edge, while fostering sense of community and ongoing support, which is GLIC. Let's start with learning a little bit about you and your expertise.
Okay. My expertise is what I call brain-based leadership. It's company transformation, change management, and transforming governance. That's what I'm experienced from. And I have more than 25 years of career in very different businesses in Russia and abroad. Probably one of my largest role was I was a vice president for Sochi 2014 Olympic Games. And that was a very big transformation project with a, unfortunately, not long-lasting legacy. Yeah, but at the moment, I work as IOC expert, International Olympic Committee, helping different organizing committee to make the Olympic Games, and it's an evolving innovation in everything. Second, I'm the board of directors in several companies. It's mostly fintech companies, but also oil and gas. And third, I work as a consultant and coach, dealing with leaders and teams, helping companies implement change and innovation. And that's what I do. I also certified consultant of Dr. Joe Dispenza. I don't know if you have heard about him, but maybe you did. He was in Poland, by the way, this year. And he is a neurobiologist and understanding how the mind works and how to manage it, because we have so much capacity there. So I deliver also seminars on his behalf in the places where he doesn't go. Yeah, that's briefly about
So
me.
since you've mentioned leadership, and you mentioned brain-based leadership, for me, it sounds pretty much innovative. So maybe you can help me, describe what is innovation for you and why do you think companies need to pay attention to being innovative?
Yeah. So there are two questions which I can hear. First is, what does it mean innovation? And second, where it came from. And actually, there are many definitions of innovation. And many people talk about innovation in their own understanding. But just in a very simple words, it's the way you're doing things which you haven't done before. More complicated definition is it's a recombination of existing and new elements to serve a new purpose, often in a new context. And the third one is more profound. It's a process of routines that organization need to build, staff, and manage in order to create new forms of value regularly and over time. And why I like this sort of definition, because it shows that innovation is not something once in a life disruptive thing, but it can be more like routine, more like a process, more like a system thing to organization. Why companies doing it? There are three major reasons. The first is personal. When the person is very visual and he just see the future market, and we call it emerging learning. It's actually MIT concept, emerging learning, like Dubai. It's something which has never been done before. There is no history. There's no basis to rely on. But within 50 years, it built absolutely new economy, absolutely new place, which become a world point of economic trade and multicultural. And it's fascinating because it's really about forecasting and brave ideas. And this, second is evolutionary things. When the company is nothing presses, but the company wants to be more effective or have better income, better financial results, have new market niche. So, and that's the reason, another reason of innovation. And third is what we call adaptation logic, like technology. For example, the company can't afford, talking about client strengths, to do things in an old way because it will be out to the market immediately. So in order to succeed, to be able to at least be in a competition, it has to make this innovation. So these three major reasons of innovation.
I really appreciate, how structured and informative your answers are because it's easy to understand what you're talking about. Now, maybe you can provide me some examples or maybe even your personal case studies of companies who have successfully incorporated innovations into their everyday operations.
Yeah, there are so many examples, but for structure, I would like to separate three types of innovation. The first innovation is called product and service innovation. And the charismatic examples is Apple phone, when it's combined touchscreen, multimedia, internet design, everything is product. Tesla model, electric cars, self-driving capabilities, amazing design. The service innovation, which we all enjoy, Netflix, its streaming services success, library of movies, personalized content. It's Uber, which connects passengers and drivers, making it very fast and convenient and cheap. And these are types of innovation when companies want to have a new product or a new service. The second type of innovation is related to business model. Actually, for example, it's Spotify. Yeah, it's provide access to vast catalog of music, subscription, whatever, create your content. It's R&B. It's absolutely different model when the company doesn't possess any real estate, but it provide peer-to-peer marketplace. And then this third level of innovation, which are, I would say, they call system level innovation. And actually, this is really disruptive for economy. For example, collaborative economy. All ecosystem of the companies, for example, bank, where I work as a board of director, it's not only IT company with bank license. That was the first disruptive system innovation. But it's also allow people through the mobile application to pay taxes, to pay for mortgage, to pay anything, yeah, to have delivery of drugs or whatever. So it's actually create ecosystem, and this example of system level innovation, blockchain, which is used in education. It's Amazon. It's absolutely different way which allow us to buy goods and services, and it's all e-commerce industry, yeah, fast and free shipping. So Google Maps, it's integrate GPS, real-time traffic mapping, single system, and it's changed the way we move ourselves around. So these are the examples of three levels of innovation. And when the company think about innovation, it should understand what are the level of innovation, because then it's not enough to have just smart idea.
Yeah, this is so true. You mentioned blockchain, before when I first, joined this innovative movements and etc. I thought that blockchain, is purely about transactions. But now that you mentioned education, just, a couple of weeks ago, I heard that now you can get a degree and you can confirm that you actually got it through blockchain. This is super cool. Absolutely. Yeah. So now let's proceed to my favorite question that you actually suggested. You mentioned that 65% of innovations fail. But, to me, it seems like companies, we all understand the pressing need of being innovative, but why 65% they still fail?
Yeah, it's interesting because, well, probably fail is, I would change the word a little bit. Originally, I say it's fail. It still exists, but it's like did not progress. So
it's not like an instant recipe to success that companies think it is.
Yeah, it's just somehow in the company, the project is still open, people are doing something, but the result is not there. And the value is not there. And there are several reasons for this. The first major reason, and probably I will not dive into it, but I should mention because it's a major reason, that the company has very good idea, but it did not ask the question, what is the value for the customer? So why there is design thinking, why there is real research which people needs? Because sometimes we just invent things which we don't need. For example, there is oil and gas company who provide chemicals for different drilling rigs. And the companies say, why don't we make marketplace where all the market can actually have this fast access to oil and gas oil chemicals products. And they have done it for 5 years. And there is no any sign of break even. Because, well, it was their understanding that market needed, but all their competitors consider them as competitive and consider it's their platform. And why should we buy from this company? And that's why the company still can't really make it, well, they want to sell it finally to somebody, but they did not understand the market volume and the demand. And that's an example that innovation, sometimes it's not enough to have the idea of this. Second is, and this for me, the major part, it's the under-appreciation to which extent organizations have strong homeostasis. Organization is very, very, very alive, I would say, system. I have, you mentioned that I'm structured, I'm PhD in applied math and computer science, and actually,
it makes sense.
Sometimes describe things. So organization has a very strong homeostasis, and the structure, process, decision-making, performance management system, competences, culture, it's all connected with each other in a very strong way. And if we would like really to change something, we need to look at organization and change the homeostasis of organization. Why Peter Drucker say that culture is strategy for breakfast, and another person say that culture is strategy for breakfast, but structure is culture for lunch. Yeah, that because if you, for example, you want to have a new product, or okay, the most recent and widely used example, the company want to implement data-driven decision making. For company, it's innovation. But the company hires a DTO and say, Guy, we have a platform, we buy a platform, so now please do data-driven decision-making. You're responsible for this. But it doesn't work because first of all, there is no data culture. So people don't know how to use data, why they're important, they're very dirty. Second, there is no process of getting the data, understanding which data are critical. There is no training for the people. There is no motivation. People don't know how to take decision-making. There are no structure or department who analyze this data. The data-driven is not incorporated in business unit strategies. So for example, if I am HR, I maybe know about data, but I don't know what to do with this. How can I use it? How can I use machine learning in my function? So it's actually, we invest in first very obvious thing, but we need to change process, culture, people, competences. We need to have KPIs which reflects this decision which are related on data. So it's a whole set of, we call it organizational readiness. And I call it a system wonder, because you can't change one thing. You have to change all the details, and then you have suddenly this effect. And the understanding of where your organization is ready, what have you to invest, and only then the innovation can really be embedded, because in the definition, there was very important thing that it should be regular, long-lasting. It shouldn't be just, one time.
Consistent. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the third, I told there are 3 things. And third are people, because actually it's people, and in people I mean stakeholders, yeah, not only internal employees but also stakeholders. They have to understand what is the value of this innovation, why have to use them. For example, the Avon company, it's a famous example. They changed the system of internal cabinets for the clients, internal IT system, and they invested a lot to make it much more sexy, nice, and simple. But they didn't communicate it to their external users, their stakeholders, their agents. And the agents face something new, and we resist to something new. We don't understand, why should I struggle and understand how it works? And during the first month, they lost 30% of their clients. Clients, I mean agents who sell their, who buy and
even
resell.
though it was towards
Yeah,
customers,
yeah.
they lost them. Oh,
Yeah, but actually the project managers say the project is done 10 out of 10 score. System is working, everything is working. Another example, very traditional, we have CRM system or Bittrex or Jira, and we invest in IT and we're saying from now on we work in that way. But the usage of CRM is maybe 50%. So there is no good information, not everybody feel it. We don't know how to use the information from there. So it takes time. But again, you should systematically work with people to increase the quality of innovation usage. And this systematic ones means communication, creating awareness, why the company is doing this, why it's doing it now, what's the value, creating motivation, why we should use it, what's the benefit for you, for team, for the company, for financial result, to provide training, like to creating knowledge and competence, how to use it, to create ability to use it. So the person should have access, for example, not only from working computer, like in many banks, but from everywhere, from mobile or whatever. So it should be easy to access. And third is constant reinforcement, constant measurement of how people use this innovation, to which extent. So it's constant feedback. It's like, measuring temperature, understanding where we are. So 3 things, summarizing: first, the idea; second, organization, structure, process, performance management system, teams, whatever. And third is human factor.
great. Thank you for summarizing because it was a long answer. So my last question to you is, I feel like you've already mentioned most of the tips, but maybe we can wrap it up. You as a Greek mentor in the, in this ever-changing tech environment, what strategies can you advise companies or business leaders to use to not become part of these 65%, who are slow to innovate, who are not successful, etc.?
Yeah. So there I incorporate a little bit of brain-based leadership, because when we work and when we do things and when we deliver and when we achieve, we use the so-called beta brain waves. And these are not the moment we think about big ideas. So what the company should do is constantly assess the situation, understanding what's going on. So that's very important, because we all remember Kodak, we all remember Nokia, which has very ambitious goal. I met Nokia management, they were super happy from their own success, and it's very dangerous. So whatever company will be successful, it's required constantly assessing their situation and constantly having in the agenda time and space to expand the focus of their people, to expand the horizon, to understand what's going on, what are the innovation, to just have a very innovative sessions, what we can do. And why I mentioned brainwaves, because we can innovate through pictures, we can innovate through images, through drawing, through discussions, but being on alpha brain waves. It's a different part of waves, so that's why it's not the part of regular operations meeting, but it should be separate time for this, and it should be regular, because it's a trainable muscle. this agility. Second is the trainings which help company. It's like, creative thinking, for example. Yeah, it's like just something allowing people to do differently. Third is the culture of innovation. What does it mean, the culture of innovation? It's constant system which allow all the employees to improve. All Toyota system is based on this. It's based on incremental innovation, not only disruptive, because even if it's a blue collar worker, every month they get ideas from each worker what should be do differently on their production. So it's a constant way of creating new ideas. And it's actually some sort of brevity to do this. And then it's internal system which allow to land this innovation, because I can give you the example of automotive industry. They have accelerator inside, and they create the system which allow their employees to have these improvement ideas or innovations. But that's not enough to have, oh, I have this creative idea. If you have creative idea which you really believe in, you make a short business plan, and you just like entrepreneur, go to show your business plan, share your idea, you're doing your pitch presentation. And then if the accelerator believes in your ideas, they give you money to make an experiment. But in order not to be the part of the big company with big procedures, they make a separate legal entity which is startup. So they create a startup which they fund. And then they give 1 year this idea to become a product. And if it's really okay, then you get a great motivation as a part of the profit. So, and it's just creating around the company a lot of innovation teams, yeah. And for me, it's amazing thing. It's not necessarily one business model, but it can be, but it describes the whole idea. If the company wanted on a systematic way, it should have a process for this. And starting, of course, from understanding and predicting the market.
Thank you. Thank you so much. As we come to an end to our session, I'd like to thank you, Marina, for sharing your knowledge and insight. And I hope our audience enjoyed this conversation just as much as I did. So if you'd like to learn more about Marina and how you can work with her one-on-one, I highly encourage you to check out our caption and learn how can you become a part of our amazing community. And again, thank you, Marina, for taking your time, sharing your knowledge, and thank you for being a part of our community.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Yeah, have you too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.